Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a really high-stakes tactical blueprint straight from the pitch. We are breaking down Mastering the Exit Tactical Build-Up Against High Pressure. Okay, let's get right into it. We're looking at exactly what happens when a team is backed into a corner, facing a relentless, aggressive push from the opposition. How do they actually get out of it? And honestly, more importantly, how do they take all that extreme pressure and turn it into a massive advantage?
So how do you escape a trap? Just think about that for a second. Now, yes, we're talking about a sports tactic today, but this is a deeply relatable problem for all of us. You know the feeling, right? When someone or something is just bearing down on you, restricting your space, cutting off your options. It feels like the walls are rapidly closing in. Well, out on the pitch, we call this the high press. It's totally designed to force an error through sheer intimidation and proximity. It's incredibly stressful. It's overwhelming. But, as you're going to see today, there's a very specific structural way to unlock this trap.
Section 1. Surviving the High Press.
When an aggressive defensive press comes at you, those opposing forwards aren't just casually waiting for you to make a move. No, they are basically guided missiles hunting the ball, actively trying to suffocate the play right outside your own goal. You've got high physical pressure, literally bodies flying at you, closing your space down to absolutely nothing in fractions of a second. And then, crucially, you have the psychological pressure. You have a split second to make a decision before someone essentially tries to take your ankles off. It's chaotic, it's fast, and it's incredibly loud. Your absolute basic human instinct is to just panic and blindly boot the ball away. But here's the catch. Panicking is exactly what the pressing team wants you to do.
Which brings us to Section 2, the numbers game.
To survive that absolute chaos we just talked about, we have to look past the flying bodies and just look at the math. We need to shift from chaotic to calculated. On one side, you have the defense trying to build up the play. That's the goalkeeper plus 4 defenders, so a total of 5 players. On the other side, the offense initiating that high press usually commits 3, maybe 4 forwards. So while it feels totally claustrophobic, mathematically, the defense actually holds the absolute advantage. By integrating your goalkeeper into the outfield play as a passing pivot, you guarantee a 5-on-4 or a 5-on-3 scenario. The math is literally on your side. You are the ones with the extra player.
Section 3. Mechanics of the Escape.
So how do we actually use that mathematical advantage? Well, finding that extra player in the middle of a chaotic, high press requires a really specific tactical blueprint. It requires a system to relieve all that tension and solve the puzzle. And interestingly enough, it doesn't start with your feet. It starts with your mind. You absolutely must foster emotional composure. Because if you don't have that emotional composure, the numerical advantage we just looked at means absolutely nothing. Just think about your own everyday experiences. It's exactly like being in a high-stress meeting at work. Panic just leads to mistakes. Composure is what allows you to see the board clearly. You've got to quiet the noise, trust the math, and stay emotionally grounded to execute the plan.
Once you've got that mental composure locked in, you can execute the primary tactical objective, finding the third man. By definition, this means identifying and passing to an unmarked teammate to bypass defensive blocks. Because you have that mathematical advantage we talked about, an unmarked teammate always exists somewhere on the pitch. The real trick here is using quick, angled passes, often creating little triangles on the field, to purposefully draw the aggressive press in towards 2 of your players. Once they bite on that, boom, you instantly free up that third man. It seamlessly turns a highly pressured dead-end situation into a wide-open highway.
And once you find that third man, you achieve the whole geographic goal of the escape, which is breaking lines. You aren't just passing the ball sideways to delay the inevitable or buy a few seconds of time. No, you are systematically progressing the ball past a whole layer of their defensive shape. By doing this, you've just rendered every single forward that was pressing you completely obsolete. They are now stuck behind the ball, completely removed from the active defensive play.
Okay, let's synthesize this blueprint. Step 1. Master your mind and foster emotional composure. Step 2. Trust the math and identify that unmarked teammate, that's finding your third man. And Step 3. Execute precise distribution to break the lines. This right here is exactly how chaos is conquered. It's a highly disciplined system that completely neutralizes the intense physical and psychological pressure from the opposition.
Section 4. Transitioning to attack.
Because, let's be real, getting out of danger is great, but here is the ultimate payoff. Escaping the high press isn't just about mere survival. When you perfectly execute this press-resistant build-up pattern, you don't just reset the game. You maintain possession, you progress the ball, and critically, you penetrate the opposition's shape and move right into the attacking phase. Remember, The opponent committed their numbers aggressively high up the pitch to trap you, right? Well, by breaking their lines, their backfield is now completely exposed. Through disciplined positioning and precise distribution, you have successfully transformed your moment of greatest defensive vulnerability into a lethal, immediate counterattack.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought. If composure beats pressure on the pitch, where else can disciplined positioning break through aggression? Whether it's a high-stakes negotiation, a stressful project, or just navigating intense conflict in your daily life, maybe the key isn't to fight the pressure head-on. Maybe, just maybe, it's about staying composed, looking at the numbers, finding your unmarked options, and strategically breaking the lines. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, stay composed, and I'll catch you next time.